Hi everyone, Emily here from Logistics for Designers, and I have with me a very exciting guest, Marissa McKinney, one of our co-founders. Thank you for joining us, Marissa.
Hi.
Hi.
How you holding up?
Good. I'm here from my bedroom. You guys can all see the background.
I'm just hoping my kids don't start running through the living room at some point. But so you want to talk about some SBA loans. I have been going through all this information constantly, every day, guiding clients and assisting with the process and just trying to absorb all the information I can. So I hope I can answer your questions, Emily, as long as, and also gear it towards our designers too.
Yeah, wonderful. Obviously, a lot of our designers are concerned about their cash flow. And one of the ways that you can support your cash flow during times when your business is a little bit down is by applying for an SBA loan. So if you could let us know who should be applying for these loans and in what situation.
Sure. So I think that everybody should be applying for the loan. There's really no harm in putting that application out there. Whether or not you will get the exact loan amount that you were hoping for, the SBA should be funding an advance of $10,000 to all applicants that are open to the EIDL, the Economic Industry Disaster Loan. So as long as that option is open in your area, then you should be getting that advance of $10,000. The question of when, I'm not sure entirely. There's some debate over that, especially with how overloaded the system is. But my point being is that if you apply, you submit all the paperwork, you technically should be getting that $10,000 advance. So I think it's worth it for everybody to apply, because even if you haven't been hit by that first wave of economic downturn, then you should at least be prepared for perhaps a softening in the second period or the second turn. So, like you said, the first step in this, and I think everybody's probably already past that, which was, do your cash analysis. How much cash do I have on hand? What's my particular situation right now? And how long, will I have enough cash, enough runway to get through this period? So yes, apply for the loan for sure. The other thing I think about the loan is you just need to be very cautious not to lean on it. I heard Brock Blake, the founder of Lendio, say that as a professional lender, he's not very optimistic about the disaster loan. There's a few reasons why. First off, business owners to actually qualify for that product would have already had to have qualified for the SBA loan prior to the coronavirus hitting. So cash flow, collateral, it's all about the same documentation process. The length of getting the loan is going to be really long anyways. So showing that the coronavirus had a negative impact is one thing, but basically you have to show that prior to the coronavirus, your business would have qualified for an SBA loan anyways. The second reason why he's not very optimistic about the SBA loan, he said, they're just obviously not equipped to handle this type of volume and applications. So again, I think a lot of people's questions like, well, when am I getting the money? Well, they're saying one thing, but it's not necessarily promised because we just don't know. The SBA has never been hit this hard with this amount of volume at one time. So if you've tried to apply for the loan, you'll know that the system crashes. And if you've tried to apply for the loan, you know that you can't log in most days. And if you're trying to check the status, there's login issues and there's a whole set of problems. And if you hadn't already applied for an SBA loan in the past where you've qualified, have good standing credit and stuff, then the actual process for the application is going to be long and lengthy, and you don't know where it's going to end up. Now that $10,000, when President Trump signed into the CARES Act on March 27th, that $10,000 was part of what he was going to, advance while you're waiting for your loan application to come through. So that's where that $10,000 comes into play. And then go ahead.
Can I cut you off for a second? So my second question, again, I think a lot of designers are understanding how important now more than ever is to know your numbers, how much money you have in the bank, what your P&L states, all that stuff. So we've been helping out designers a lot with knowing their numbers.
Yeah.
So in that case, can you let us know what exactly would one need to apply for the SBA loan?
Sure. So I don't have the exact list in front of me. I do know that you'll need your P&L for 2019. I know that you'll need your P&L for 2020, year to date. You may need a variance of periods such as like a March through March. Same thing with the payroll reports. You're going to need your 2019. You're going to need your 2020. So a lot of people are requesting that information. You're going to probably need information about your company. So maybe your tax ID, obviously, maybe your articles of incorporation, things like that. You may also need, again, I don't have the list in front of me, like a mortgage statement, a rent statement, like a lease or a utility statement, things like that, to kind of prove what you would actually need for the loan. Because what the loan is, if you qualify for a loan, you may qualify for the amount of 2.5 times of your monthly payroll, your rent, and utilities combined. So that's why you'll need that backup documentation of your monthly payroll, your rent, and your utilities, because they'll take that amount, they'll multiply it 2.5, and that's the amount that you could potentially get back from your loan if you qualify, at a rate of like 3.75%, I think it is. So the other documentation that you'll need is you'll need a list of liabilities, an AP report listing specific vendors and the amounts that are due. And then we'll have you fill out some tax forms, which if you're lucky enough to be able to get through on the site, you should be able to sign them, I think, digitally through their platform.
Okay.
They may require that you download the PDFs, fill them off on the side. They're super easy forms, so don't be deterred from filling those out, because they're simply just like I think the release of tax history forms. The other thing they will probably, if you actually want to get the loan, they'll probably require that you have filed your 2019 taxes. I'm a little bit unsure about that, but if you have a chance and the ability to file your 2019 taxes, we highly suggest doing that now if you're trying to apply for the SBA loan.
Okay, so don't wait for the tax extension. You're advising.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the tax extension, you can really use it as more of like your estimated payment extension as well. So it's not to say that you can get away with not paying your estimated tax payments this year, but there is a little bit of a extended period for you to just kind of like take a step back, assess where you're at, and figure out what you think the trajectory will be for your business in 2020, as opposed to what you maybe thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year. So it gives you a little bit of extra time in that. But if you can, and I don't think it's the end of the world, but if you can get your 2019 taxes done, go ahead and get those done right now.
Okay, great. And then that brings me to our other question. How can the funds be used? So how do you advise businesses to be using these funds?
Well, I mean, they should be used for obvious business purposes. This is not for paying, if you're applying for this particular loan. Now, the SBA does have disaster loans for personal, but if you're applying for the business loan, use it for actual bills that pertain to your business. And also just remember that this is a loan. This isn't a grant. We haven't even gotten into the CARES Act, which I assume we'll probably be doing a webinar in the next couple of days about the CARES Act. While this is part of the CARES Act, it's not the CARES Act. The CARES Act is like a very robust set of procedures and policies that they're going to implement, and stimulus, obviously, that they're going to be doing. And we can get into detail about that. That's going to be a long webinar because there's a lot of really cool features in the CARES Act that are going to help a lot of people. Again, don't bank on the SBA loan to help carry your business through this. This is just one thing that you can do for your business while you are going through the steps of what should I be doing during this process. I recommend everybody should do it, but also don't bank on it, and also just know that you're gonna have to pay it back. So be mindful of that.
Okay, wonderful. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
I do. But I'm really excited about our CARES Act webinar because I think that's going to cover a lot of really great stuff. And then the CARES Act is going to be more of a forgivable loan if you structure it right. So, so technically it's a loan at first, and then it can turn into a grant, which you don't have, like there will be a portion that could potentially be forgivable if you follow all of the necessary criteria required for those funds. So again, we'll do that webinar soon or podcast soon.
Yeah, so definitely follow our channel, Logistics for Designers. We have a bunch of different webinar series that we're posting as the things come through the pipeline. Also, if you look down below the link here, you can connect to our website. Is it on there? Yes, it is. Connect to our website. We have a lot of different blog posts with links to all these loans and a bunch of different resources. So I think the key takeaway that Marissa mentioned today, apply for the loan. Everyone should apply for the loan.
Yeah.
And also, we're here if you guys ever need anything to talk about. We're here for support. We're doing coaching, consulting, business planning, all sorts of different resources we have on our team. Also, there are funds available, so we can help your business. There are different city loans, state loans, so there are resources.
Yeah, and we both have Calendly, book me links, so you guys can schedule time if you need us to compile that documentation for you and assist with that. We're kind of in a making ourselves available, especially me, trying to make myself more available to these particular situations for people that need funding right now and need assistance in getting that funding. So we're here.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Bye.